How did you think that was?
I think I started the fourth movement faster than I was like counting it in my head, and then I started faster than I was counting in my head.
What part of the movement do you use to get your tempo?
I use the da 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 da.
That's smart. That's how I do it too.
Yeah, that's just
Another one you could think is think of the violin part. Bum, 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 bum. In all practical terms, that's not too fast. It may be faster than you're prepared to do, but in terms of the movement, it's not too fast.
Like this little thing here. I think I want to change my fingering there.
I saw maybe a thumb or 1-1 coming down in there. There was like a.
It's supposed to be 4, but I think I.
Yeah.
The 4-2-1, but I want to do thumb 2-1.
A couple of those kind of smeared together.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That was a little bit.
I think I ended up going like that.
Yeah. But in terms of having a good plan and executing 90% of it, that's really solid work.
Thanks.
Good.
And then the first movement. There was something shaky, but I forget what I'm gonna check. Oh yeah, the string the stroke when the like that. That one, like the first this first. I don't think that B flat even sounded. That was so just inconsistent stroke.
Both that measure was that ba ba beep ba 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 ba, and when it happens in the low octave, are prime candidates to break out and do bowing and rhythm patterns and change rhythm. Yep. Da da deep da 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 deep da deep da dee da deep da dee da dun dun dee da dun dun dee da. Speed it up gradually. Those string crossings will get the best of players. They need to be well loved because they're really far apart when you really think about it, and the top notes are going to take a lot of bow. One of my big comments to you for a lot of this is as you move, your stroke, your 8th note stroke in the first movement is really good in the bottom end of the bass. As you move towards the top end, that stroke needs to get longer so that the spiccato sounds the same, right? You're staying around the same length, and when you go up high, it gets a little bit pecky.
Yeah.
I would think that's a real thing to keep in mind, especially in measure, like coming up to before C, 4 or 5 before C, as you come up high, it needs to be longer, right? You can apply that concept to just a single note in that da da dee da 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 dee da, right? Those long notes, those top notes are going to take more bow. Da da dee da da dee da. It's going to feel like you're overplaying, but it just takes more bow.
Yeah, and like sometimes like when I get to an open string, I just feel like my bow just stops.
Yeah.
For a second.
Yeah, that's tough. You could try playing through your open strings. Some of these are unavoidable, and you're just going to have to sort of roll through them. But think about your bow speed in the first measure of the second excerpt, right? Slow bow on E flat, slow bow on G, immediately fast bow on B flat, E flat, right? And then even faster on the harmonic.
Oh yeah.
You got to go from slow bow to fast bow on a dime. That's a really tricky part.
I think taking the shoes off though helps because like that's how I practice.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
I always because I practice in my bedroom, so I always practice barefoot.
Yeah.
And
one
then,
last thing.
I find the same thing as Brian, where like, especially when I'm coming down, I just my middle finger just wants to grip the bow.
Yeah.
Like really hard.
Yeah. It will, and you need to acknowledge that and try to minimize that. Right. At some point, it's hard. You got to move the bow the opposite of the way it wants to go. Right. Your bow wants to go ding dun 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 dun. It wants to do that all day. The other way, no, it does not. So you kind of have to make that square peg in a round hole feeling. And it's going to feel a little wonky, but it's a little wonky, you know? And it just takes a lot of control and a lot of discipline. And just kind of, same idea, you're starting with more bow and getting more compact as you come down, and that'll help as well. Something I was going to comment both for Brian and for Cole as well, a lot of times the long notes are not quite the right length. I would go through one more time with a recording. Like in the first movement, bum bum bum, da di 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 dum bum 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 bum. Those notes are long, and then right at 217, da di da di da di da di dum 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 dum. More of that sforzando and more of that long note, more of that sustain. Give that a try just at the very end.
bow, like more speed.
What's the difference between accent and sforzando? Accent is a front of note, right? Accent is. I'm not under any. I don't have any bow tension. Right? Yes. Sforzando is a wah, right? So an accent is right, as opposed to right. Sforzando, the word, it's almost onomatopoetic, right? Sforzando, it has rum in it. It's got more overdrive to the string. And then zando, falling away. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the most severe accent possible in the classical period. That's the most you can crank it, right? And you do it by adding speed and then taking it away. Yum, yum. Yep. Yes. Yes. And up bow and down bow exactly the same. They're a little different. You'll come back with recordings and sort of nail that down.
Okay.
Same idea, just one last small thing. Same idea in the fourth movement.
I also didn't vibrate there enough, like in the.
Yeah, long notes.
The long notes.
Long notes just a little bit. It's not the romantic period yet. A little vibrato just makes the sound project out.
Makes it sound in tune.
Yeah, that too. Some of these half notes on the ends of phrases were clipped.
Yeah.
Digga 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 dum, dum digga 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 dum, right? Digga 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 dum, dum digga 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 dum, right? Try that from dum da da dee da dee da 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 da, A flat major. Yes. Yes. That's the idea.
Is that the best fingering there?
No. I would get to A flat with 2 or 4 on the D string. Yep. Yeah. And then you can come down to G string. Yeah. But I would start with the A on the D string. Yep.
Yeah, that helps.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It's a bunch of double shifts. Yeah. Anytime you have a double shift, you should be suspicious.
Okay.
Good. Yes.
Okay.
Really good job. Good preparation. Really good attention to detail.